Live, with accurate and balanced coverage, this is News First 5 at 5.
Take a look at this. A fire at Bear Creek Park in Colorado Springs. The flames spread quickly in today's dry, windy conditions.
21st Street now closed in the area at Rio Grande. We have live team coverage from the scene. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Lisa Leiden.
And I'm Rob Quirk. Georgiana is still on maternity leave. Let's get right to that breaking news at this hour in Colorado Springs. That wind-whipped grass fire burning in Bear Creek Park on the Springs west side. So far, an estimated 2 acres have burned. No structures are threatened, but as you know, a very populated area of the city. Strong winds pushing those flames. Let's check in live with Carolyn Carver to begin our coverage. Carolyn, what's the latest?
Rob and Lisa, we're just getting word the fire is controlled right now. There's fire crews surrounding the fire line. Apparently it sparked just about 45 minutes ago. Fire crews swarming in on the scene, getting this thing contained. The flames were feet high, just feet from the parking lot of the park. Joining us live now is Lieutenant Carl Miller with the Colorado Springs Fire Department. Now, you guys got here fast and quick. I mean, this is such a populated area. What's going through your mind as a fire department?
Well, with the winds the way they are today, this close to residential structures, and the dryness, the relative low humidity, it's a big factor for us. So we got crews here. We were tapped out at about 4:13. First crews arrived 4 minutes later. So called for a second alarm, got a lot of units here right away, and we got the scene surrounded.
And what's next? What do you do from here? I mean, obviously hot spots reuniting is a huge concern.
It is, and so we're going to have resources patrolling not only around the perimeter, but around the neighborhoods to make sure that we don't have any embers that are going to spark up in other areas. And you can see some hot spots that continue to ignite. With these winds, we want to make sure that we don't have that going on.
Exactly. And what else do you want people to realize when they look at how close this can actually get to homes and can actually get to city center?
Well, just be aware of that. Be aware of that when we're barbecuing, when we're doing all the things that we normally do. Again, if there's any hint at all of any smoke or any emergency like that, call 911 right away, because the sooner we get on something, even if it's a false alarm, we'd rather come and make sure that it's not an emergency before it gets out of hand.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll check in with you later.
Okay.
Again, right now the fire is under control. It's burned about 2.5 acres, we're told, right at Bear Creek Park. The road is still shut down. Right now, Rob and Lisa, we'll have the very latest for you coming up later in this show and tonight at 6. Back to you.
Okay, thanks so much, Carol. Boy, you could just see those ferocious winds fanning those flames. News First 5's Bill Folsom live with another view of this wildfire at Bear Creek Park. And Bill, conditions tender dry.
Oh yeah, Lisa, and this is what they've been warning about. Red flag warnings and then the smoke kicking up. You can see what happens. That smoke's not going up. It's pushing right towards those homes that they warned us about. If you recall, just a little over a week ago, just a little over a mile south of here, there was that fire at Stratton Open Space. Since that fire, we have been contacted by a man who goes to that area, and he's concerned because what he sees, and they're calling fire mitigation in there, he thinks it's creating a fire danger. We've got multiple views. Stratton Open Space is more to Jan Fritchell than a place to walk her dog. She serves on the park board because she grew up enjoying it.
I feel I need to get back to the property. I've loved it to death since I was real little, so it means a lot to me.
The board offered input on work by the City Parks Department happening in the open space. What are we seeing going on up there?
Well, a lot of different things are happening in Stratton Open Space, primarily work to mitigate the fire risk.
That work is not sitting well with Rick Burgles, another user who loves this park. There's concern about that?
Yes, sir. Tremendous number of mature green trees and a tremendous amount of both living and dead brush have been cut.
The cut vegetation is now in long rows, covering trails Parks doesn't want people to use. Burgles says some of those trails are alternatives when others are muddy or frozen over, and he thinks all that stacked brush is tinder for spreading a fire faster.
So now there are wildfire freeways going up and down the flanks of Stratton Open Space.
The fire department is aware of this, and they tell us that when mitigating, it is usually best to remove dead brush. But in this case, it is away from homes, and it's also serving a purpose. It's an effort to keep people from using unplanned trails that are eroding or contribute to it. The ones with the big stacks are often where people ignore the closures.
In some cases, it means putting larger material in the way that they just can't move.
The situation isn't perfect, and it's not pretty. Now, there are two sides that disagree on the outcome there, but they are both thinking about fire danger, and that is what the fire department wants. There are 30,000 homes in what's called the urban wildland interface that could be in fire danger. They want all those people to think about mitigating. This is why they want them to think about it. Bill Folsom, News First 5.
Exactly right. Thanks so much, Bill. The wind machine adding to those dry conditions, Mike.
No doubt about that, Lisa. Wind's very strong across the west side of Colorado Springs. In fact, we've got a sensor on top of our building, which is just a stone's throw away from the Bear Creek fire. We had a peak wind gust earlier this afternoon at 52 miles per hour. Thankfully, not as bad. It's still windy, but not as bad as 52 miles per hour. And that wind is going to stick with us here for the next couple of hours, then really start to decrease after sunset. Pueblo, a peak gust at 40. Woodman Valley, a gust at 59 miles per hour earlier this afternoon. Temperatures unseasonably warm, mostly sunny in the spring, 68. There's the west wind at the airport right now, sustained at 30 miles per hour. Pueblo, 73 is the current temperature.